Okay, we're taping. All right, welcome back, writers, and we're going to take our flow map today, and we're going to take it to the writing paper. Now, I want you to look at the flow map, and you're going to notice today that I have numbered the boxes. This is going to help us understand what order I'm going to write in. It doesn't necessarily mean how many sentences I'm going to have. I can see I've got 5 boxes, so I know that I'm going to have at least 5. What I'm seeing is many kids ask, well, how many sentences do I have to write? Oh my gosh, how many sentences do I have to write? And my response to that is, we're going to write as many as it takes to tell a really amazing story. Okay, guys? So we know right off the bat that our first sentence is going to just copy. We're copying it. We've already practiced it yesterday when we wrote our flow map. So I'm going to copy this sentence right onto my paper. When I was in 2nd grade, I felt lonely when I moved to a new school. Period. All right, now I'm ready to go into number 2. So this is my second category. It's going to be about the new school that I was in 2nd grade. My new school's name was Elm Street Elementary. There was desks, and I no longer had to wear uniforms. So I can probably put that into 2 sentences. And look, I've got room right here, so I'm going to continue right on in there. So let me think. Sometimes you have to talk through it. I'm going to probably combine new school, named elementary, named Elm Street Elementary. So my new school was named Elm Street Elementary. Okay. My new school was named Elm Street Elementary. So I've done new school and I've done Elm Street. So now I'm going to talk about how it was a little bit different in this new school because it was on the 2nd floor and I no longer had to wear a uniform. I could wear what I wanted to wear to school. So this is going to be my detail. This is the topic of why I felt feeling lonely. My new school was named Elm Street Elementary. And I'm going to add in a little feeling here too. I was so nervous. I was so nervous. My new classroom was on the 2nd floor. I no longer had to wear a uniform. So just a little detail. Look, my hands are still on my body, guys. They didn't fall off. I know I've already written like 5 sentences. But the more detail you can put into your story, the better your story is going to be. Just like when you pick good books to read, you want them to be interesting. Just like you're writing, you want it to be interesting. And the more we do this, the more interesting your stories are going to become. And you'll have stamina in your hands to be able to write that much. So then I like to reread it. When I was in 2nd grade, I felt lonely when I moved to a new school. My new school was named Elm Street Elementary. I was so nervous. My new classroom was on the 2nd floor, and I no longer had to wear a uniform. Okay, now we're going to move into topic number 3. Okay, I'm going to go back and forth with different colors. Let's see. Mrs. Curry was my old teacher. Mrs. Curry was my old teacher. She was the best, and I knew I would miss her. Okay, I'm going to talk about my new teacher. My new teacher was Mrs. W. She was mean, grumpy, and made me feel sad. Okay, so now I've talked about part 3, which was talking about my teachers, okay? Again, Mrs. C was my old teacher. She was the best, and I knew I would miss her. My new teacher was Mrs. Winans, and she was mean, grumpy, and made me feel sad. So that sad feeling, bringing it back up to what our topic is, okay, guys? We want to keep the details attached to our topic. I'm not going to jump in here and start talking about my birthday. I'm not going to jump in here and start talking about my brother. No. This story is about me when I felt lonely when I moved to 2nd grade. Okay. So then last, we've got 2 more parts to go and then we're going to be done. Finally, I made some new friends. Now here's my detail. Their names were Renee, Tina, and Rhonda. Okay. That was part 4. So we're just pulling each section and putting it down. And you can see I've added all the extra words that made these the sentences. Whereas on our flow map, it was still just our brainstorming ideas. Now we're at the closing. Now that I am a 2nd grade teacher, I hope that new kids in my class never feel lonely. Now that I am a 2nd grade teacher, I hope that new kids in my class never feel lonely, period. And then my story is complete. You always want to reread it, and you can add in other details if you need to at that point. So when I was in 2nd grade, I felt lonely when I moved to a new school. My new school was named Elm Street Elementary. I was so nervous. My new classroom was on the 2nd floor, and I no longer had to wear a uniform. Mrs. C was my old teacher. She was the best, and I knew I would miss her. My new teacher was Mrs. Winans. She was mean, grumpy, and made me feel sad. Finally, I made some new friends. Their names were Renee, Tina, and Rhonda. And I could have added right there, finally I was starting to feel a little less lonely if I wanted to. Now that I am a 2nd grade teacher, I hope that my new kids in my class never feel lonely. Good job with your writing today, guys. I can't wait to read your journals.